What is up, my ninjas? Shinobi here with another Diablo 3 Reaper of Souls video for you guys, and today I'm going to answer a question that I've been getting very frequently, and that is the furnace, the normal furnace, is it better than using like a Devastator slash Offhand, Ancient Offhand, and Ancient Devastator combo? Which one is better? In the past, Furnace has been the best weapon for Firebird Wizards and for pretty much almost every class. Furnace is just this force to be reckoned with. And, people want to know, if I were to fight a regular Furnace now instead of an Ancient one, would that be better than, that? Because all the stats are supposed to be pretty much, increased equally. So whatever the best weapons were before should still be the best weapons now, minus some int and vitality increases and offhand damage increases as well. Because you do have the offhand damage increase that you get from the Firebird thing when you get the Ancient one. So you do get a little bit more damage, you get a little bit more, int vitality if you do have vitality on it. It's not like you get more crit chance or more fire or anything like that, but, it is generally around the same. Everything gets increased somewhat equally. And this is my Devastator right here, which is 2871, the Ancient Devastator. This is a craftable item, and today we're going to put it up against something that I found yesterday, and that is the Furnace. Yep, I finally found a Furnace on NA Seasonal, and it's not Ancient, and it rolled amazing everywhere else, but it didn't go Ancient, and that's unfortunate, but it got me into thinking, and got me into testing, it got me into looking into, at least, that's a huge amount of weapon damage that you get there. Is that better? Is the huge weapon damage and the elite damage better than the Ancient Devastator offhand combo? You're losing that crit. There's so many stats that you're losing and so many stats that you're gaining. So which one is better? And how do we even figure something like that out? Well, I'm going to test that for you today, and I'm going to show you guys. Now, I did multiple tests, and I'm going to get into the different things that I did when I did pick up this Furnace yesterday. And first off, let's go ahead and take a look at just what most people do when they get an upgrade, or when they get an item that they might think is an upgrade. So they look at it and they go, okay, it's my current character right now. They take a look at their fire damage increase. They go 3.7 million. Okay, that's good, that's good. And then they go, okay, well, now if I were to put this stuff on, what changes here? So let me go ahead and throw this on, throw this on. Alright, so now we're at 2.4 million. Okay, so that was a huge drop. So we just know automatically right now, this is horrible, it's bad, I'm not going to use it, it's not good, right? However, in some situations, and most situations, that would be right. In this situation, though, you have a lot of factors here. Two-handers are usually better for Firebird Wizards because of the dot tick mechanic that was in the 6-piece Firebirds. Also, you have a lot more weapon damage here, and you have 50% elite damage, which doesn't get calculated into this fire number right here. So you had to take it a step further, and this is, the next step that you'd want to take after this. Instead of just looking at it right now and dismissing it and saying, you know what, I'm not going to do it, I'm not going to use it, I'm out of here. Take it a step further and be sure about it. You want to be using the best items that you have, right? So double check, triple check, and especially when it comes to a Furnace, a very rare item, you owe it to that for sure. So what I'm going to show you now is the Diablo progress. So what I did in my Diablo progress here is I opened two tabs. I have tab 1 and tab 2. So I used my regular gear that I always use. This is my progression gear right here. It's not gear that makes me just look like I have higher numbers or anything like some people do in the top 10, but I do, I use this gear while I'm progressing, while I'm doing greater rifts and everything. This is the gear that, has to get beaten by the Furnace, right? That's what you want to have. That's what you want to have on. So this is my gear right here. And you see 4.39 million elemental elite effective DPS. So this is like your max damage, everything calculated for you on Diablo Progress. A lot of people have been using this website for quite a while now, and it's very good for comparing things. So what I did is I searched this and I clicked update, and I got my entire thing. And then I opened up a second tab, which was this exact same thing, right? But when you go into the second tab and you click update, it's going to refresh on whatever gear you're currently wearing. So I'm currently wearing my furnace and everything like that. So this is what I'm currently wearing right here. And now let me go ahead and bring this over here so I can kind of see it a little bit better. Okay, there we go. So now you can see a huge difference here. You can see that, okay, Elemental Elite is 3.73, whereas over here it was 4.39. So we're starting to, we saw the first step, we saw that it was better to not use Furnace. In the second step, we see that it's still not better to use Furnace, so everything's kind of putting us away from the whole Furnace thing. So you can see the rest of the stats all right here. Everything all set up and all good and everything like that. All right, so now you need to go to step number 3 because, you know, this is a Firebird Wizard and you may be playing a different class and testing out different items, and you can use the same kind of strategy when testing out different items that you get, if it's going to be better, if it's going to be worse. So, you know, this is something that you can use in all kinds of shapes and forms. But you have to also think about the Firebird mechanic with the 6-piece. You know, is it best to, you know, go with this? You know, you'd be like, oh, I'm losing damage on, you know, on paper here, but with the mechanic of the Firebirds, having a slow weapon, a two-hander, is that still going to be better? So I ran 2 different tests. The first one, I went on T6 and I killed Asmodan, and pretty much did that a bunch of times in a row, and both instances lined up the exact same. So the Furnace was tied with the one-hand and offhand for every single one of those tests on Asmodan. Well, you're thinking, okay, well, maybe because you got all that elite damage, right? So that's pretty much the first thing you would think. So now you got to take it one step further after that, and what I started doing was this. And I'm going to show you right here so you can see. Okay, so right here you can see that this is on average right here. I didn't just do one test. I did multiple tests throughout the night, during the stream and after the stream. The one-hand and offhand, the average time it took me to clear a Greater Rift 35. These are all 35s, by the way, because I didn't want to do something that was too high that would, you know, slow me down or have a bad RNG thing. But I also didn't want to do something that was too low where the monsters just die too quickly and you can't get a good gauge on how the items are interacting. So right here, you can see 8 minutes and 48 seconds left in the Greater Rift. So pretty fast clear, very fast clear. The Rift Guardian took 1 minute and 8 seconds for the one-hand and offhand. And then Furnace here, total Greater Rift clear time, 4 minutes and 26 seconds left. So, you know, the one-hand offhand cleared the entire Greater Rift many times faster than the two-hand Furnace. So all this information that we learned previously is starting to all really line up and give us, you know, clarification that, okay, this is it. And you can see that Rift Guardian time was around the same time as well as that. So yes, you did lose some elite damage, which is going to help you in elites, but you know, it wasn't enough to make up for it. It's not like, you know, if you were to get an ancient furnace or something, you just kill the, you know, Rift Guardian way faster than the one-hand and offhand. You know, you might be like, okay, well, maybe I'll trade, you know, being a little bit slower on trash mobs and do better on elite packs and Rift Guardians, right? That's a different test you're going to have to do when ancient furnace comes around. As far as right now, with the regular furnace, the final conclusion is that one-hand and offhand ancient Devastator with your Firebird offhand is better than a regular furnace. And that's just how it goes. I mean, when things get increased for ancient, you know, when you're going from one hand to two hand or something like that, you may just think, oh, well, Shinobi, it's ancient, you know, it's a no-brainer, it's going to be better. But there's a lot of factors. There's elemental damage getting changed out. There's elite damage getting changed in. There's crit chance getting thrown out. There's weapon damage being increased by a lot. There's a lot of different factors that go into this type of thing, so it's better to be safe than sorry. Instead of spending 2 months using an item that wasn't an upgrade the entire time, what would be worse? Triple checking, quadruple checking, or letting that happen for a long time and letting your Greater Rift suffer because of it. So those are my thoughts about all that, guys. Now you can follow this same kind of strategy that I used here on all shapes and forms of items that you pick up along the way and determine what is the best for you. Test, 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 test. That's what I do all the time. Very important that you guys do that as well. Make sure that the items that you get are the items you should be using. Anyways, guys, that's all for today. My name is Shinobi, and until next time, thanks for watching.